So you got your new CD out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, definitely.
what's the plan for like a national tour?
Well, right now I'm touring around my work, and I'm selling CDs to the people that work there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No. I've toured Western Canada more in the cover band scene in years gone by, twice now, and that was good times. There's some good things about the cover band scene. I mean, you as long as you got a solid repertoire, you're gonna get, your pay at the end of the week is gonna be consistent and whatnot. So, I've always considered kind of doing the cover band thing, but doing originals as well and having CDs for sale and the best of both worlds, right?
Well, I know you were doing the kind of the blues thing. Would you continue with that, or?
Well, yeah, it's funny, like, a lot of people consider me to be a blues guitar player. There was a 5-year period where all I focused on was blues, and I had a Strat, and I had, like the whole setup was kind of geared towards that kind of thing, right? I do love the blues, like, a lot, and I picked up so much from that genre. The thing I have a problem with is sometimes there's this blues purist scene, I guess you would call it, in Edmonton and in different places. We have a pretty good scene here, and it pays respect to traditional blues in the sense that the players try to emulate the old vintage 50s, 60s style blues to a T, right? Now, I guess the issue I have with that is that, like, the original artists, like if you take Buddy Guy, when he was doing that sound, that was cutting edge. Like, that was like pushing things forward, right? And then Jimi Hendrix came along, did the same thing, took it even further. Like, but it's funny, it's been like marketed now. It's like, okay, if you use a Univibe pedal or a wah pedal, then that's blues or that's blues based because Jimi Hendrix used those pedals. So it's okay if you use those. But don't you dare use a Digitech whammy pedal because that's not blues. Or, don't use an Ibanez guitar because that's not blues. It must be a Fender or a Gretsch or a Gibson. And so, and then, like I've had attitude from guys. You get on stage and it's an Ibanez. Are you gonna play blues, or what kind of music do you play? And it kind of, after a while, I've grown to like kind of resent the blues purist mentality. Not blues purists. I'm not gonna name any individuals but the mentality itself. As there's the two sides of it. There's the people that respect everything else, and that's just what they do, and they pay respect to the blues, and that I totally think is cool. But then there's these people that put themselves on a pedestal because they think that their blues, their music is real music. I've heard it so many times, and that rock music isn't real music, and rap isn't real music, and electronic isn't real music. But I'm here to tell you that it's all real music. So that's I don't know, like, anything to add to that, Curtis, at all, or?
Well, no, I was just
No. No, I know where you're going with this. No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, so like, just back to your touring thing or
yeah, sorry,
thing.
that's what we were talking about.
So you'd mix it up. It wouldn't just be the purest, blues. You're gonna do blues every night. You're gonna do.
Oh man, we do country, we do rock stuff, like pop music, you name it. Mix it up. Like I've always kind of thought to myself, I'd rather be considered an entertainer. I'd rather be an entertainer than be a musician. Like, a musician is a means to an end, right? Like, but really, I want to entertain people. So that means if I have to jump around, like, I don't know, hurt myself on stage, or I don't know, set my guitar amp on fire or something like that, I'll do it.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's fun, right? And so, yeah, like, that's where getting back to that blues thing, because I was kind of, I'm going on a tangent this time. Sorry, but okay, getting back to that example I was saying. Also, people with that, like I was saying, like it's marketed. So sometimes the way that blues is marketed, it's like, okay, if you have a vintage axe, like a vintage Fender or whatever, well then that's blues. So like, but it's funny because in reality, if a newer style guitar, with hotter pickups or whatever, if that was the original guitars that came out in the 60s, well then that's what people would be gravitating towards, right? So
I agree, yeah.
It's all kind of weird to me, the whole thing.
Well, I know, it's like you have to have vintage pickups in your vintage guitar, otherwise you're not a blues guy.
Yeah, like
you're just some guy.
Yeah, and it's totally ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Yeah, I agree.
So